you can. And yes, like the Diamondbacks might not be in the situation. Like Blake Snell would have to be a 1 or a 2 for them. He's a 4 for the Dodgers, right? He's a guy that they can even nurse, and they don't have to carry a lot of innings. And like looking back now, like the Dodgers treated the regular season almost like spring training, right? They were super conservative all year because they knew they just needed to get in, and if they had their full complement of guys healthy, they weren't going to push anyone down the stretch. They weren't going to push anyone. Look how they handled Ohtani on the mound this year, like just nursed him back. He was throwing 1-2 innings, and they were getting him out, and like, yeah, you have to first build up the depth. You're absolutely right. But I think my point is they keep it's just money. So when they let Corey Seager go and he's an MVP caliber player and he's younger, it's like, yeah, we'll pay someone else to come in and do it. And that's where other organizations, again, they're so risk adverse. Is like they make one of those mistakes and it's like, we're not going to, we have to stop. We have to change how we're doing things because this didn't work. And it's like, no, you're not going to bat 1,000. You're not going to hit every shot. You have to keep taking them. You keep investing. Because if you're not, like, to say that the sport would be better and to put a salary cap on things, I think is a little bit, I just think it's ridiculous. I do. I think that there should be a floor. There shouldn't be a cap. I truly believe that. I think the competitive balance taxes are fine. They're perfect because not everyone's going to dip into it like the Dodgers do. And, that's fine. But there should be a floor because the fact that you're not even willing to take the chances on some of these guys. What does it look like? Do the Dodgers win the World Series if maybe the Diamondbacks don't win 93 games if Blake Snell's on their team and he's not on the Dodgers, but the Dodgers win a World Series?
Mm-hmm.
If the Cleveland Guardians, who would kill for a right-handed power bat, went and signed Teoscar Hernandez on a couple-year deal, would the Dodgers win the World Series? I don't know if the Guardians would have, but would it have been the Dodgers? Like, there's your parity that everybody thinks would happen if you put a salary cap on the sport. It's out there.
Those are good. So, and to kind of go against my point too, is like it's a combination of everything, right? When you look, even including, I'm not going to sit here and nitpick on when these guys are going to pitch again or all these 60-day IL guys. But again, so you go through the Dodgers depth on the mound specifically. Like you can count up how many legitimate major league starters that have been effective at certain times. You got Glass now. Gonsolin, who I know again, a 60-day IL. Michael Grove has given starter innings. Andrew Heaney has been effective as a starter, right? Clayton Kershaw, obviously. Landon Knack. Bobby Miller. River Ryan. Roki Sasaki. Emmett Sheehan. Blake Snell. Gavin Stone. Yamamoto. Like, those are all guys. And again, some are IL 60s, right? Some are in these situations. Like, those are all guys that have been effective starters at some point in their career, whether they're pitching out of the pen for the Dodgers or not. It's because of the luxury that they have. Oh yeah, and Shohei Ohtani, who's really good as well. Not to mention the other thing. The funniest thing last offseason was when they signed Kirby Yates. You mean the same Kirby Yates that was on the free agent market and had no offers, and then the Dodgers were like, well, if you guys don't want to sign him, we'll come take him. And again, he didn't even pitch for them down the stretch, which is maybe that luxury of having the financial backing that they have and the investment that they have. But that's another guy that every other team in the league could have had. And when a guy's sitting out there for long enough, if you're the Dodgers front office and you go, hey, do we have $25 million to throw at Kirby Yates? Or whatever it was, maybe it wasn't $25 million, maybe it was a lot less than that. And they go, yeah, okay, let's go build up more depth, right? Like, that's the stuff, the savviness that you have to give them credit for. And again, you mentioned the name, right? Dalton Rushing. That's depth right there. You look through their roster of the guys, Ha-Seong Kim, right? Again, a solid player that's depth that might need to be a starter for another team. They grabbed Michael Conforto as kind of like the Teoscar thing. It didn't work out. He's not even active in the postseason pretty much the whole time. Pages was a homegrown player who struggled in the postseason. So we can sit here and we can nitpick how much the Freddie Freeze of the world, the Mookie Betts, and how much money those guys are getting. Well, but again, their season last night came down to Miguel Rojas.
That's what I was going to say. And like, how undervalued are guys like, right. Were teams clamoring for Tommy Edman before he became a Dodger? No, now everybody wants Tommy Edman because the Dodgers didn't have to give up much to get Tommy Edman. And then you look at what Tommy Edman has done because the Dodgers, again, like you said, and yeah, I truly, truly understand that. Like, some of these players we're talking about don't make the same impact if the top of your roster isn't what the Dodgers have. Absolutely. But the top of the Dodgers roster are all guys they signed in free agency.
Yeah.
Or traded for in Mookie Betts. But the reason they could make the trade is because then they were willing to sign the deal that the Red Sox weren't. Like, there's no reason that, like,
there's no reason the Red Sox, like, again, if that happened,
Mookie Betts
with,
not being a Red Sox is crazy, right? Like, he should have been a Red Sox for his entire career.
When Paul Skeens inevitably hits the free agent market, you will understand maybe where the Pirates didn't have the what's probably going to be the $1.5 billion to pay Paul Skeens.
That's again, and that's where I disagree. Like, you want to know what's
Paul
wrong
Skeens
with baseball?
$1.5 billion.
Sure. But what's wrong with baseball? Level. Do you know what are the biggest trade rumors right now?
No, okay, so that's okay.
Tigers are shopping Tarik Skubal.
Okay,
he should have a blank check in his hand.
Can I segue this then? Because that's exactly what I was going to say. The opposite end of that is and let's transition into the offseason, because I think that's my favorite part from my perspective to talk about what's going to be the craze this offseason. What happens in Major League Baseball is every time there's a World Series champ, everybody follows suit, right? 2015, 2016 Royals stretch. Everybody wants to invest in bullpens. And then the Cubs win and everybody's homegrown, right? And then we go through these ebbs and flows as teams, right? The Astros win and it's like high vert fastballs. And then, like, we go through all these different ebbs and flows. So I kind of want to get your kind of perspective on what the offseason craze is going to be after seeing these two teams meet in the World Series and seeing how these postseason unfolded. But the epitome of that is exactly what you're talking about, right? Tarik Skubal, who is one of the best, no questions asked, the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. He's young, he's controllable, all of these things. The Tigers in Skubal's camp are $320 million off in their asking price. So while people can sit here and clamor at what the Dodgers do, what the Tigers are doing to Tarik Skubal is embarrassing. Right? It's embarrassing that they're not willing to pony up the dollars necessary to at least make it competitive, right? Like, I would rather at least see, like, rumors come out, be like, yeah, the Tigers were comfortable with 350. He ended up getting 410 on the open market. Cool. Clean my hands with that. You made the point about Mookie Betts. The Red Sox reluctance to give that contract to Mookie Betts. The Red Sox, one of the most historic orgs in Major League Baseball and one of the most cash-heavy orgs in Major League Baseball, refused to give Mookie Betts the deal that sent him to Los Angeles. The Dodgers aren't doing anything overwhelmingly crazy, but they are zigging while the rest of the league zags because they are checks and balances, plus and minuses. It's a business, whereas the Dodgers are invested in winning. And I think that's a really important piece because you talk about Skubal's going to be a hot commodity in this offseason because of what the Dodgers just did and because of the starting pitching value that they put on it and having a workhorse who's as elite as Tarik Skubal. And maybe a trade makes sense if they're not going to sign him long term. But I do think that is a very important piece is to look at and give credit to the Dodgers because we're not talking about these other orgs being $10 million off and these players being greedy. We're talking about hundreds of $1 million. I mean, again, Tarik Skubal's a $400 million player today in ink, no questions asked. If he gives another 2 good years, hits the open market, we're probably talking about 500 potentially with how much of a commodity these pitchers are. And the Tigers don't even want to sniff the hundreds of millions that he is and the value that he brings because that org has single-handedly turned and there's been one guy leading it at the forefront, and Tarik Skubal being a Cy Young's a big piece of that.
Blake Snell led the postseason with 41 strikeouts. Trey Yasevich was second in this postseason with 39 strikeouts. They pitched all the way through to the World Series.
Yeah, Skubal.
Tigers got eliminated in the division series, and Tarik Skubal finished the postseason third in strikeouts with 36. You have the best left-handed pitcher since the Kershaw prime, right? And then before that, going back, Randy Johnson, in my opinion. That's the type of guy we're talking about. This is a guy that is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. This is a guy that we're talking about could go down as one of the best, one of the greatest left-handed pitchers in baseball history. That's his ceiling, right? The things that the 2 years that he's had. Now, again, it's 2 years, right? Like just like Skeens from the right-handed side. Like, it's only been 2 years, but they are on tracks. To me, they are neck and neck in how good they can be. Tigers, you after the era of Miguel Cabrera in 2012, you guys have been in the basement of Major League Baseball. This guy has almost what feels like single-handedly pulled you back into contention, back into the postseason. You guys, they fell off towards the end of the year, but the way they got off to the start this year, they had the best record in baseball well into the summer. Blank check him. He does not leave. Like, this is who you, and like, I'm sorry, like, the people who complain about like, oh, you're paying him too much. Like, the Illiches who own the Tigers own another sports franchise. If you want to know how much money they have, they own the Detroit Red Wings, or they did. I don't know if they still do. I'm not up on my hockey ownership.
And they cut costs because they hand out cardboard pizza.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just absolutely insane to me. Like, you can afford him. Like, and you're talking about like the eyeballs that Skubal brings, the jersey sales, the fact that like, if you're competitive and Tarik Skubal's taking the mound every fifth day, you're probably selling tickets and that place is full. You'll make your money back. You will get your return on investment. Maybe you won't make it back fully, but it's not like it's going to be some huge sunk cost. Like, how you could ever, you are never, I'm sorry, like, just the return on whatever you trade him for will never be enough to push you forward. Like, it doesn't. You're, in my mind, no matter what, I don't care. Just from a principle standpoint, you're taking a step back if you trade this guy. And that's the precedent that, like, you want to know what's ruining baseball. It is not the Dodgers and how they operate. It's the fact that we're even talking about the Tigers trading Tarik Skubal. The guy shouldn't pitch for another team. And like, here, man, 10 years, $400 million. Yeah, have it.
Best case scenario for a trade package for Tarik Skubal is the Juan Soto deal. Best case scenario. I'm just saying, in terms of outcomes.
To me, but to me, that's completely different. That is completely different because the Nationals were closing their competitive window when they made 100%, that deal.
But let me finish my point. What did the Nationals just do this past season? They fired their general manager. They fired their manager. They're still searching for that identity. Your best case scenario as the Detroit Tigers is to flip it for potentially 4 major league assets, right? Because again, we talked about this earlier. Prospects are prospects. They're lottery tickets. Sure, you could hit on one, a James Wood, who becomes a potential superstar. Even 4 quality big league players is the best case scenario in a trade, right? Like, I'm just, history tells us there has never been a trade. Like, again, that might go down as one of the best trades. Like, that is the best you could get for Juan Soto, right? Especially for what he did in San Diego and obviously everything that he returned to them and then went to New York and he's bounced around since. So he's not even solidified for the team that he went to. So the Nationals won that trade and you are still searching for your identity as an org, as the Washington Nationals. So if the Tigers can take any notes and say, well, that's the package we want, well, great. Your package still has you as a 75-win team searching for a new general manager and a manager and 4 years down the road while Skubal's out there making bajillion dollars and probably pitching for a World Series ring, right? So the situation that you're putting yourselves in by entertaining the idea of trading him, again, the best thing you could potentially do is net what the Washington Nationals netted, and they're still in limbo. They're still searching for that competitive window. They're still searching for those opportunities to potentially win and get to the postseason.